Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, tonight we're going to talk about how to share information. And I've got a story that we can use to illustrate that. It can be used to illustrate a lot of things, but we're going to use it for this. And it's cool because you guys know how it started. Um, some of you probably know that after that synagogue shooting, I had a bunch of people who were anti gun ask me about purchasing a firearm and how to do it. And I made a very long video explaining the realities of owning a firearm, that even though it's self-defense, you are purchasing to kill someone. I have been checking in on these people, and one young lady, she took my advice to the letter. She went to her synagogue and she found the Never Again guy. And that Never Again guy, he had an arsenal, and he took her out and let her shoot. And she found weapons that she liked, ones that were right for her. She bought a 45 caliber pistol and an AK. Um, I know that's funny. Going from being anti-gun to purchasing an AK is humorous in and of itself. But at the same time, for those that don't know, despite the weapon's reputation, it's a good rifle, and especially true for females who are of a certain stature. Um, Everything can be operated with the right hand. You don't have to cross in front of yourself to do anything. Um, so if you're larger up top, it's a good rifle for you. So from there, she goes shooting. And she goes shooting with a couple of Army guys, a Marine, and an ex-cop. She said she didn't learn much. Didn't get much out of it. Didn't learn much about shooting anyway. Learned a whole lot about them and the stuff that they had done, but not much about shooting. She said she learned the most from a 60-something-year-old man that she went shooting with. And she thought it was funny because he had never done anything like that. He worked at some institute. Um, so the first day he takes her out, and they don't even put bullets in the gun. They take them apart. They learn how they work. He explains how they work, explains how the bullets work, explains the physics of it, explains how to get a good sight picture, explains what the difference between cover and concealment is. All of that stuff. No bullets in the gun. Second day, she learns different stances, learns how to change magazines in different positions, learns how to walk and pull the trigger, learns how everything, but no bullets in the gun. Third day, they finally start shooting. And they spend 6 hours at the range. And if you don't shoot, that's a while. That's a while at the range. But by the end of it, she said she can successfully put that magazine into a 3x5 card. That's impressive. That is impressive. So why did he succeed where others have failed? He used good teaching techniques. He used good teaching techniques, plain and simple. He let her crawl before she walked, before she eventually sprinted. That was one thing, and he gave each phase of that information time to digest. The other thing was that he made it about the information. Ideas and information stand and fall on their own. Working at an institute, you certainly learn this. Doesn't matter who's presenting the information, it's either true or it's not. He made it about the information. He made it a academic experience rather than a confrontational one. And then the most important thing I think he did is that he didn't make it about him. I mean, how could he, right? He just worked at an institute. And here's the twist to that story. If you raised your eyebrows when I said institute, yep, that one. So, and I did confirm this, and the funny part about this is that she gets to find this out at the same time y'all do, watching this video. The institute is slang. That is slang. That is like saying you work for the company if you are working for the CIA. The institute is the Mossad. It is Israeli intelligence. The guy who she is certain has never really done anything like that, has done and seen more than everybody else she went shooting with, all added up. But he didn't bring it up. He didn't make it about him because ideas and information stand and fall on their own. And he presented it in an academic manner. And it goes back to that old saying, those who have seen the most say the least. And so there's a good overview of a nice teaching technique. How does that apply to what prompted this video and the questions of how to reach out across partisan lines, across ideological lines? Use the same techniques. If you want to talk about immigration, talk about immigration. Don't talk about Trump. Talk about the statistics. Talk about the laws that are currently on the books. Talk about the laws that should be on the books. Talk about the laws that we are violating ourselves. Talk about this stuff. And then let it digest. Then come back and talk about, what do you think the effects of this are? If you were on the other side of this proposed wall, how would you respond to each one of these developments? And then go in. And then you can close out and explain, a wall would in fact, drive more people into the hands of traffickers. A wall would not really do anything because of the statistics you learned last week. Make it a conversation rather than a debate. Provide information in a non-confrontational manner. And then obviously, the other thing to take away from this is never assume anything about anybody, because you could definitely be wrong. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.